Misconception! Utah!
Welcome back to another episode of Slapshot Utah. We're joined here by two guests, NBA champion, our friend Jordan Clarkson, legendary jazz man. But more importantly, we're joined by one of my childhood friends. They know him by Gringasho on the internet. I know him by Clay. He is the legend. Give it up for my man, Clayton fucking Kearl. Welcome to the show, buddy. It's good to have you.
Honor and a pleasure, Leroy. John, thanks for having me. Can't believe I'm on Slapshot. What an honor.
Let's go, dude. So we wanted you on for a couple reasons today, Clayton.
Okay.
Number one, you're a soccer aficionado. You've been playing soccer ever since I've met you. You're one of the only people I ever get to talk like World Cup with and actually get a good feedback from. On top of that, if you guys can't tell, Clayton's on the road right now. He's working the World Cup in Kansas City. I need you to tell the audience and tell me and Leroy, what's the energy like? How is it to have the World Cup in the United States? Is it electric? What's it like out there, dude?
Bro, I just got to tell you, it is insane. Huge honor for me to be part of the World Cup in Kansas City. So many things going on. I was at the Fan Fest, which is basically a free music festival. They have shows throughout the day. At the end of the day, they have the games that they're showing for free, all the fans. There was 12,000 people down there in Kansas City, right downtown Kansas City. Watched the United States absolutely destroy, annihilate, rape Paraguay. It was awesome. 4-1 in an amazing fashion. And I just got to say, it's awesome to see the sport and the fever taking over the United States. I will say that a lot of things are going on in the United States, and I think that's hard for the world to understand. NBA finals going on, UFC White House 250-year celebration going on, NHL Stanley Cup finals going on, MLB NCAA World Series going on, World Cup, all the summer music festivals, and like I honestly think we're the only country in the world can do things like that and produce things like that. And so it is really cool to see. And there's tons of energy, especially here in Kansas City around that. And it's really, really awesome to be part of.
So, Clayton, I imagine as a U.S. soccer fan, just like I am, we all breathe that collective sigh of relief because the team struggled in qualifying and some of this pre-tournament mixed success. And with a new coach, talk to us about what you think that has an effect. I know that Bernhalter is gone, but tell us about, because we were all just overjoyed that, oh my gosh, it's going to be a success. We're not going to fall on our face.
No,
And that just amplified the experience. Talk about that.
no, honestly, amazing question, because for all the people that don't follow soccer on a regular basis, it really is an interesting situation, because we have the honor and pleasure to have an amazing world-class coach. Something that, we had once before with Jurgen when we went to Brazil. But if you don't follow soccer a lot, yes, you may think this is a new sport in our country. Yes, you may think that we suck. And I kind of want to clear up those misconceptions a little bit and to just directly answer your question. We are stoked. But listen, for those of us that are fans and follow the sport, kind of like you, Leroy, have always, I'm not a hockey fan. And I enjoy your podcast because I feel like me and John are like new fans to the sport. And then you're the old head that like kind of clues us in. I kind of want to be that like old head that clues everybody in. And that if you've been watching the sport, you know that this group in Tyler Adams, McKinney, Weah, guys, we have a player for our team, Weah. His dad won the Ballon d'Oro. Ballon d'Oro is what they say in English. That means the MVP of soccer in the world. His pops won that trophy. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know the equivalent in hockey, like the MVP of the league. soccer does MVP of the world. So
Yes.
Yeah.
and his dad won that. That's the kind of talent and legacy heritage players we have on our team. This group has grown up playing together from such a young age and having success in the U14, U16, U18, U20 World Cups. We kind of had this is like our golden generation. We kind of knew this is their potential is to go out and dance on teams on their face and do 3 goals. And so to finally see this come to fruition is like it's just a pinnacle moment for people that have been playing soccer for 30, 40 years in the United States.
Mammoth fans, if you want to relate to it, it's kind of like there's a lot of Coyotes fans that are following Mammoth players now, and they don't want to see these players get traded away because they've been following them since they've been 18 years old. And you just got like Gio Reyna,
Yep.
and the Anthony Robinsons and the Christian Pulisics, all these guys that you've been seeing playing juniors have, broken into the Premier League and at different levels of success. But there's been dysfunction and controversy. And
Totally.
I just love seeing it all gel together. And it the mystique and the legend of could this be our magical year? Like,
Why not us?
Why not? Well, because like Pochettino, I think that's how you say his name, Mauricio Pochettino.
Yeah, Pochettino.
He like this is the first time you hear an American coach saying, "Yeah, I think we could probably win it all." Can you imagine?
And here's the thing. Here's the thing that people don't realize in the World Cup. It's a tournament. So just like any tournament, like one of the classic upsets or dark horses in soccer, they say dark horse instead of underdog. One of the classic dark horse stories of international soccer is like Greece, a team that has never really done anything and they won the Euros. Why not? Or
Yeah.
like Chile in South America. Chile's never really done anything in the World Cup, but they went back to back Copa America, South American champions just in the last like 10 years. It was like 2015, 16, I believe, in that range. I know I'm messing up the dates exactly, but they went back to back Copa America champions. And so it's like we in America know what tournaments are like. We love underdogs and we love tournaments. And the people new to the sport and new to the tournament and new to the World Cup, I like to make this comparison. I like to say it's as if you took the Olympic format of every 4 years into the March Madness college tournament. And the reason I say that is because every international team has a student section and an ultra or a supporter section that are just madness, right? They have chants, just like a student section. They sleep outside to get tickets. They road trip to all the games. They get in RVs and they travel around these World Cups or during qualifiers or during Euro Cup or America Cup, Copa America. And it's very similar to like a student section. And so if you can imagine that, just like any underdog, why not us?
Why not?
Dude.
And
Agreed.
we're on home soil. It's our golden era. Why not us? Is it likely? No. Will it be
No.
really hard?
Yes.
But hey, we're American. Was it likely to win the Revolutionary War? No. Was it really hard? Yes. Was it likely to go in and win World War I, World War II, and save the planet from communism? No. But guess what? We're fucking Americans, bro. And so
Amen.
why not us? Why not
Dude,
Why
now?
not us? I
Why
love to
not
hear
us,
it.
bro? I was completely bought in on Pochettino and that pregame thing they put up where he had the team watch Miracle on Ice, which dude, and FIFA did a great job too, where they had that commercial where the captain of the '86 hockey team, I forget his name right now, but he was it '86 or '88, Leroy? I'm fucking up right now.
86. Wait,
86,
we're
yeah.
talking about?
You're right.
Yeah,
The
yeah, okay.
Miracle on Ice. But
Well, Miracle
it's-
on Ice was 80. If that's
Yeah.
what we're talking about, hockey.
Okay, 80. Yeah, 80. Yeah,
Okay.
80. So it's the two friends in the bar, and they go, one goes, "We're winning the World Cup." The other goes, "No, we're not." And it shows the captain of the 80 team, and he goes, "What? You don't believe in miracles?" And walks out with his Team USA jacket. So epic, dude. Pochettino, I am all bought in on that. Dude, we got to talk about Balogun. Dude, this guy has an amazing story, too. His mom was on vacation in New York City, 7 months pregnant, gets on the plane to go home. They go, "Nah, you're too pregnant, gives birth to him in Brooklyn, and we just got the fucking top French player. Well, he's English, but like in the league in France. He led the team, he led the league with 19 goals, I think. I think he won his team MVP out there in Monaco. Tell me about Bologun. How do you feel about him? Is he the next GOAT? Do we have the next Messi? This guy looks awesome.
I think it's hard to compare a true 9 striker to like a 10 Messi. So I wouldn't necessarily do that direct comparison, but we have an absolute lethal shark of an attacker. And, you know, it's interesting because United States has had history like a Clint Dempsey, a Josie Altidore, Josie being very famous in I think it was U20 World Cup when we beat Brazil in the final, and he was that lethal striker to do that. Also, when we went to the Confederation Cups before the run up, they used to do like a pre-tournament a year before the World Cup. It was called the Confederations Cup. And in South Africa in 2009, we went to the final against Brazil. We beat Spain, who ended up winning that World Cup. We beat them in the semifinal. And in the final, we went toe to toe with Brazil, ended up losing. But Josie Altidore was one of those. He's Haitian, kind of similar situation. He could have played for Haiti, decided to play for the United States. And I would just say on Bulligan, like, having a top tier, someone that grew up in Arsenal's academy, who could have played at England.
Yeah.
He did play for England. And this is the thing about soccer. If you play friendlies for an international team, and I'm not sure hockey's a similar situation, but if you play a friendly match, all good. But as soon as you play an official match, like a qualification World Cup or a tournament with a country, you're locked in. And so for
Oh, so
him to
we
go,
got him.
so we got him. And so for him to play friendlies with England and then be like, guys, I'm bought into Christian Pulisic, McKinney, Adams, Weah, Gio Reyna, like this core talent group of America. For him to buy in and say, I can go be a starting striker in a 9, complete the package, and we can go do something special. It was just special.
And I would take that group feeding me. I'm a big Christian Pulisic fan. I mean,
Me
he's
too.
The
he's one
biggest.
of my favorite American players right now, but I would take him feeding me. I hope he can stay healthy
Me
throughout
too.
the tournament. That's going to be huge. But let's
Yeah.
talk about our chances. Our realistic chances, not the worst group. We're in with Australia. Obviously, I think it would be Australia and us that probably progress from that group. But you were talking about dark horses. Turkey is one of those types of teams that travels well, that has a lot of support. They're the kind of team that seems like they would bust out, or they always kind of get somewhere in the Euros. I don't know, but yeah, what do you think? I like it. I mean, I think Australia and us advance, and I know that the tournament has changed because now it's expanded to 32 teams. I don't know how
Right.
you think that affects things, but what do you think
It's
about that?
the expansion is to 48 teams and
Is that it?
32,
Okay.
32 move on to the next round. So let me explain a little bit the format, and then I'll get into the United States group and what I think. The format has changed and it expanded, and that's why there's 3 countries really hosting, is because it's so much bigger. There's more than 100 matches playing. And I want to take a little pause on this. This is why I hate comparing the World Cup to the NFL or like the Super Bowl. How are you going to compare over 100 games to even like a season of NFL when there's 48 countries involved? That happens every 4 years. So to just hit on this real quick comparison that I hate doing, it's like for me, there actually is a comparison that the NFL goes toes with the World Cup if you take 4 seasons of the NFL, including the playoffs and the Super Bowl, 4 of those TV ratings, and then compare it to one World Cup in 100 matches. It actually kind of goes toes and kind of reflects like how badass the USA is, where one country that is involved can go toes on a world event like that. But I just hate that comparison, and I hate to turn fans away. I don't want to turn American football fans away from the sport. And so we don't have to call it football, call it soccer. We also don't call the bathroom the loo. I don't call the trunk of my car the boot. Like, this is America, okay? We call it soccer,
Yeah.
it's soccer. And we don't need
What
to
the
we don't need
fuck is
to
a kilometer?
Exactly, dude. We use Fahrenheit and we use feet and inches. Guess what? The English who invented the sport first called it soccer. It's just the same as the imperial system. They first
Yeah.
called it soccer, and then they switched to football. Just like the imperial system, they first were inches and feet, and then they switched to metric, and we just kept the feet. So we're keeping soccer. Piss off.
Yeah. Hey,
Back
it's I'm right with you on that, by the way. Anytime there's any pushback against the word soccer, I'm always trying to claim that look, you call it whatever you want, but in this country we call it soccer, and that's what it is.
100%, brother.
And you're absolutely right. It's just a contraction of the word association, which is what soccer is association football. So you're absolutely right.
So tell those Europeans dear lick. Back to the setup of the World Cup. The World Cup, it's interesting because 48 teams now, 32 will advance. So the first 2 teams of every group will automatically advance. And the point system is, I think, similar to hockey, in where if you win, you get 3. If you tie, you get 1. Is that similar to hockey?
Yes.
Similar.
That's what we
Yeah.
call
Well,
it, grass
similar,
hockey.
but
It's two.
Right.
It's two for a win, 1 for a tie in hockey.
That's right.
Basically grass hockey here, right? So
Yep.
kind of the attack in hockey is the same as in soccer, and the point system similar. So 3 if you win, 1 if you tie. Obviously, the winner of the group moves on. Second place moves on. If there's a tiebreaker, they go on goal differential. So right now the U.S. is sitting on +3 on goals because they scored 4, but they scored 4, but got 1 against them. So we're up 3 goals. And if there's even a tie after goal differential, it goes by cards, which is why I was so surprised at South Africa getting like 9 cards when they're already losing to Mexico. It's like, bro,
Yeah.
you just double shot yourself in the foot because now you have 9 card differential and you have goal differential and you lost. Like, so that's how the system works. And in our group specifically, I would have said US winning, Turkey second, but after Australia's performance last night, cooking Turkey, guys, it might be US 1, Australia 2. And I think on our chances to go far in the tournament, I think Australia is going to be our real first test because they want to prove to the US that there's something. They're also a nation that like doesn't take the sport seriously and the world doesn't take them seriously. So they're like sharks that smell blood right now. And Aussies are crazy. I think we all know Aussies are crazy. And to them, their World Cup final is going to be playing the United States. They're going to do everything to get up to that. That's their rivalry game. In their minds, that's rivalry. So to me, how far we go in the tournament depends on if we go in and smack Australia. Get me back on this show and I'll be like, guys, I don't think there's anything to stop. Put Brazil in front of us. I think we have chances.
Well,
USA, Australia, that's coming up June 19th. So I think that's the next matchup for the U.S. So going to be a good
Next
one.
Friday, 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. But yeah, dude, I got to say, I mean, we all watched USA soccer growing up. Dude, this was one of the this is a different team. They were out there, they were attacking, they were going crazy. And a big reason I wanted you on the show today, Clayton, is because I loved your rant last night. As Salt Lakers out here, we are diehard RSL fans. And I know a bunch of listeners out there are bummed out about the Diego Luna cut for Gio Reyna, where you said beautifully and very articulate on your Instagram the Tres Dedos fucking goal by Gio Reyna to put us up 4-1 kind of solidified the coaching call to cut Diego Luna. Can you expand on that and maybe explain to us RSL fans why you think that was a better choice to take Gio over Diego?
Well, first off, I know there's a lot of RSL fans that watch this, and if this reaches Diego Luna, I just want to say, Diego, I really appreciate you. You are a generational talent, and nothing personal here. Huge fan, but I will say this: I heard that through personal connections, Diego Luna didn't come to camp prepared. Now you can take that however you want, but if you don't come prepared, I think that you should be prepared for consequences like anything in life. 1, 2, the people that were hating on Gio Reyna saying like, oh, but the drama of last World Cup. Then he got injured and wasn't really on a team, got cut from Dortmund, was going to come to MLS, didn't really have a team, was floating, hasn't played a lot of minutes. He's not ready because he doesn't play minutes. I think he shut everybody up. And his celebration after he scored, covering his ears, like, blocking the haters out. I can't hear you.
I
Can't
loved
hear the
that.
haters. Can't hear the haters. And I will just say this. In American football, we say legacy players like the University of Utah, BYU, their dads that play at their program, they go out and they recruit. Gio Reyna comes from heritage, football, soccer, heritage. His dad being top 5 player probably ever in the program, U.S. men's national team. His mom being probably top 10 women's player ever. The kid was born to play soccer. His grandparents being Argentinian. His dad was born in America. He was born in America. He's full-blood American, but he has that Argentinian mentality, that talent where he grew up with a soccer ball at his foot. And he came in, and I think this is really important for kids, okay? It doesn't matter if you start or come off the bench. You have to be positively fortified here that you know you're talented. You know you're supposed to be in that tournament. You were given a spot for a reason. He came in with 17 minutes and in stoppage time with 16 of the 17 goes and says, why not? Kind of like the American, why not me? Hits it with the outside of his foot. In Spanish, they say three dedos. Trevelo, I think it is, or they say in England. Bro,
Yeah.
hits on the outside so it curves so the goalie can't track it. And to me, it was an FU state. It was a statement goal, not only for the US, but I'm meant to be here. For everyone that was talking, yapping, I'm a generational
Nepotism.
talent.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And it
love
was,
your take on that.
and
I love
to
it.
me, it's just like we were already up 3-1. We could have parked the bus in front of the goal, put the brakes on, and just like we already won. Let's save our legs.
Nope.
Screw that, baby. That's not the American mentality. And I love that Gio Reyna took the ball and said, I'm gonna try a finger roll with 3 seconds left when we're down by 1, basically. The balls you have to do that. And he did it, and it went in the back of the net. And he just, to me, it's a statement. F you, F the world. It's America versus the world, baby.
Yeah, huge redemption for Gio Reyna. Um, so much fun to watch this team build momentum. And like you guys were talking about, it's a tournament. It's all about that momentum. You get this team believing that they can't lose, guys, I think we can really make a run.
It happened in 2002. Americans started believing that we couldn't lose. And there's a real, and we went to the quarterfinal, and in that quarterfinal, we scored a goal that they blocked with their hand and FIFA didn't call. Today that wouldn't
I
happen with
remember
Yeah,
that.
VAR.
I
We
remember
would have
that
been
shit.
we would have been in the semifinal, and in my mind, there's no reason why we wouldn't have been in the final in 2002 against Brazil. I know we wouldn't have beaten Brazil. That team was way too good,
Oh
but we
yeah.
we would have been in a final. And I wanted to touch on this, and I'm going to just leeway into what I wanted to talk about today is that this whole idea that soccer is a new sport in this country is bullshit. And I'm so sick of that. And it's a way to make money. It's this continuous cycle of like hype, 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 where the federation and clubs and everything could just make money because it's a new sport. Guys, soccer's been the most played sport in the United States for the last 30 years in our youth. It's not a new sport. Uh, do you know, and then this is a trivia question. The first player in World Cup history to score a hat trick, American. We have been participating in the World Cup since 1930. An American born in New Jersey, not an immigrant who put on a jersey that people like to say, and a New Jersey born and raised American was the first soccer player to score a hat trick at a World Cup. We took third place, by the way, at that World Cup. We went to the semifinal and we took third place. And in 2002, we went to a quarterfinal. We should have gone to a semifinal. We were robbed by a handball. And it's like I posted today on my story. In Korea, we beat Portugal in the group stage, put 3 goals up on the sheet. So everyone that like, oh, this is new. Americans finally figured out how to play soccer. Bro, we put 3 up against Portugal in 2002 and went to a quarterfinal. What the hell are you talking about? Like
Right.
the idea that this is a new sport. Now, I could get in and we could take an hour of why I think historically we have struggled as a federation. And I think the biggest reason is, and I'll keep it short here, the biggest reason is because our federation, we haven't had a home base. just this year, a month before the World Cup opened, we finally opened a training facility for our national team. Argentina had a facility in the United States before the United States Federation had a facility for their players. Okay, we didn't have when I was growing up to play for the U.S. men's national team because it was an Olympic sport. They put you like the same as like ice skating. They put you in the Olympic development program. All the old heads are going to know what I'm talking about. ODP. You would go try out for like ODP Utah. If you were good enough, you would make ODP Utah. I played ODP Utah. If you were good enough, then you would make ODP Olympic development program. You would play like West Coast. You would play a region like mountain region. If you were good enough, then you'd play West Coast. And if you were good, you would make the men's national team. We finally got away from that, and we're using the academy systems in the MLS, and this is why the whole, like, pay to play, "Oh, it's the pay to play." Guys, traveling hockey's not pay to play, and we win
Oh,
gold medals in the hockey. Baseball, travel pay to play, and we are the best we're the arguably one of the best baseball nations. Basketball, pay to play, and we're the best basketball nation. Pay to play is not the problem. The problem is the federation, and we don't have a home field. We can't It's like, especially in my job that I'm at right now in Kansas City, you can't expect logistically to have qualifiers and be like, "Oh, we have enough NFL stadiums. They could just show up to an NFL stadium." The field's different. The field is wider. We need a home stadium to where we can build a home atmosphere like we had at SoFi. So every match that the United States plays for a World Cup qualifier, for a friendly, it's at one stadium. And if you want to go to that stadium, you have to be part of a chapter. Like in Utah, you have to be like an Utah Outlaws chapter. They distribute the tickets to the chapter. You go, and if there's a visiting fan section, they're put in one section at the top. They're only allotted 3,000 tickets. And we like if we play Mexico, we don't go to LA and sell out to Mexican fans to sell more beer and sell more tickets. That's ridiculous. And it has nothing to
yeah,
do with me and like politics and not liking it has nothing to do with that. It has strictly to do with winning mentality. Has that this is a
agreed.
sport and we want to win. And if we want to win, we have to create a home field advantage the same way France does, the same way any country that has a ton of immigrants do. They
Yeah,
allot a certain little section in the top, and if you come with an opposing jersey, you're not allowed into the home
yep,
section. That's it. Point blank stop, period. We have to create this. And then once you have a home stadium and those sections and everything and the chart and the chapters, for all my Mormons out there, it'd be like general conference. How do you get a ticket to general conference? Your stake. It's the same idea. How do you get a ticket to the game? You're part of the chapter in Salt Lake. The chapter gives them, they're cheap. You can go out. It's an experience. And then we can finally learn chance. We can learn that like when the opposing team has the ball, really easy to learn. Boo. Especially if they're in the attacking. It's like fourth down. NFL fans if they're in the final third by the goal, it's like a fourth down. Get crazy, just yell. You don't need to do any organized singing chants. Like it's the same as the Mammoth, right? We don't need to copy other teams. Bring the culture that we have, American football culture, and like, listen, if we're there in the final third by the goal, it's a fourth down, baby. Get crazy, yell, scream, bring those bells, bring a cowbell, bring anything, get wild. And then you can really teach our fan base how to be a soccer fan base. And to me,
yeah.
that solves everything. And I could get into MLS and how it's a franchise system instead of a relegation like the rest of the world, but that's never going to change. So why waste my breath? It's not. And
Yeah.
I honestly think the MLS has brought a lot of good changes to FIFA. For example, I'll bring up two, and then I feel like I'm talking way too much. But
No, you're good, dude. You're
No, you
great.
hit
You're
us.
great.
Yeah.
MLS implemented an old dirty trick in soccer was if you got fouled, the ref would stop and he would raise his hand, and that's where you're supposed to take the kick. They would put the ball down, they would turn their back, and they would walk away and they would count off 10 steps because that's where the defense line would have to be. And when they would count off 10 steps, either the attacking player would like bump it up a little bit, the ball would bump it up a little bit, or when he counted off the 10 step and then he turned his back to then look at the attacker, the defenders would like walk their wall up a little bit.
Mhm.
And so, um, sorry, I'm getting a call from my boss. Hold on.
No, you're
We'll have to,
good, dude.
we'll have to edit this out.
Yeah. Tell him you're talking to Slapshot Utah.
Yeah.
All right.
So when he would turn it back and walk away from the wall, he would like bump up the defense would bump up a little bit. So what the MLS did is they have a little can of spray. The ref, when he puts the ball down, puts spray in front of it so he knows you can't bump it. Walks off the 10 steps, 10 yards, the line for the wall, and now they can't move. MLS implemented that. Now FIFA and the world are accepting it. Another thing that MLS implemented, throw-ins. Like teams would like, it was a throw and they would like run like 10 steps and then throw it in. Or they would waste time. So now in the World Cup, you're gonna see like basketball, the refs counting 5 seconds with their arm. You have 5 seconds to throw the ball in.
Love
MLS
that.
implementation. Another thing that Americans hate, which they shouldn't, the same thing happens in basketball and the NBA, flopping. We all saw in Paraguay where MLS implemented, he flopped. We went to the VAR. They reversed the yellow card and gave the flopper the yellow card. And we
What did they
love.
call it again? It was like mistaken identity. Like they called it something crazy. What was it? What was the call on that?
I have no idea.
It sounded something like, yeah, it was a
like
mistaken identity. Like yeah.
NHL has
isn't that
that though.
great?
Embellishment.
Guys, can we
So-
pause for a second? I think something crazy is happening. I've been getting 10 calls. Can we pause?
Yeah, no
Of
worries.
course. Yeah, we'll pause right now.
This is Clayton.
So USA Paraguay, there's a flop, and it got called back. It wasn't against Tim Ream. It was against whoever the Paraguay player was. But
And
everyone loves
honestly,
to see it.
Everyone loves to see it. And I will explain this. I will say this. And I will say that I have inside knowledge, and I won't break it because I don't want to break information that I can't break. But I will say the magical stoppage on the clock is going to get sorted out, and the MLS is going to implement something that then FIFA will then implement later. So to all the people in the United States that don't understand, yes, during this World Cup, we have bullshit hydration breaks that are really just commercial breaks. Just call it what it is. Call it a timeout. It was 72 degrees in Toronto, and they had a heat hydration break. Give me a break. 72 degrees. It was just for FIFA to sell commercials. It's ridiculous. Call it a timeout. Fix the rule. Fix the game. Just like hockey fixed offsides, and now it's amazing. I think soccer should do the same thing with the clock and offsides. But back to that point of the yellow card is in soccer, because it's not like American football where it's stop and start. You're running like a 10K for 90 minutes, right? You're running back and forth. And if you get a little hit, roll around for a second. Give us a breather.
Yeah.
Give us either. And if you have to roll around and medical has to come look at you, they'll bring out water and we'll get a timeout, or we can regroup and have a timeout. And so I think
I was going to say, you see it all the time at the end of MLS games. People are rolling around and every pulled muscle turns into a drag me off. And you know what's happening is they're just giving people a chance to catch their breath and maybe let the momentum. Yeah. And let that momentum change.
And so to the new fan to the sport, it's like, yes, is it dramatic? Does it look lame? And like hockey fans are literally banging their faces and smashing fist to face, bodies on walls. Yeah, it's different. It's called tactic. Just like the NBA is a bunch of sissies who like throw their head to go to the foul line and get points. No different. It's a tactic to roll around, waste time, catch your breath, because you only get 5 substitutes, and especially in a tournament where you got to go far and you got to play 3 group stages, then you got a round of 32, round of 16. There's so many matches to play if you want to win. You got to do these things. And that's why Christian Pulisic came out at half, because he's banged up. And so love to see the reversal with the VAR. Love to see the flopper get the card. It's 2026. It ain't 1986. You can't get away with a handball to win the World Cup. Sorry, Maradona. It ain't 1986 anymore, bro. And so I love to see that. I absolutely love to watch it. I think a lot of Americans appreciated that.
Dude, I love to hear the passion you talk about soccer, Clay. Like I consider myself a hockey fan or a soccer fan, but like you're a good ambassador for the sport. And I just want to touch on this real quick, Paraguay was not an easy victory. They're a good team. They beat Brazil, Argentina,
Argentina,
and Uruguay
Uruguay.
in the qualifiers. Those are 3 very good programs that are out here. Don't take it lightly, people. Team USA is here. They're ready to play, and they looked fucking awesome. But Clayton, I gotta ask you, because like you touched at the beginning,
Tell me.
you and me are diehard Utah fans. I will die for the Jazz. I will die for the Mammoth. I will die for any Utah team, to be honest with you. I fucking love this place. Tell me what it's been like getting to love and
Oh, we
getting to
losing?
know the sport of
He's
hockey
frozen up.
with the
It's
Utah Mammoth.
Oh, there he is.
He's
Oh,
back.
did I go away for a
Yeah,
bit?
he froze
Oh,
up for a second.
Sorry, I was just gonna. I might go through the video. What's it been like falling in love with the Mammoth and falling in love with the NHL?
I gotta say, man, it's so cool to watch a sport that not a lot of Americans play per capita. Like, not a lot of players because it's so expensive and it is just a sport that's like not accessible to everyone. Have such an amazing reach and just blow up. And I really think that soccer can learn from the NHL and like fixing offsides and going to markets where maybe they didn't think would work. Florida, Carolina, like places where maybe traditionally they wouldn't think. And I think that soccer can copy that. And I'll just say, I like the Mammoth more than I like the Jazz right now. Like, and I think a lot of people resonate with that. And I've fallen in love watching because I've never played hockey. I don't really know all the rules. I mean, I'm a sports fan in general, and I've always watched the Olympics and things of that nature. But like watching the tactic, I'm like, oh, this is like, oh yeah, this is like 5-on-5 soccer. This is like 7v7 soccer or indoor. Like it just makes sense, and the positions, and offsides and getting a penalty and going a man down and things like that. For me, it's been so exciting to fall in love with the Mammoth. I will say I've loved watching what Vegas has done. And I think Utah can learn from Vegas. I feel like Vegas having their minor league team right there, they're able to go far in the Stanley Cup playoffs all the time because they can bring players up that are banged up. And I think if Utah can kind of copy that system, why not Utah Mammoth win a Stanley Cup? I believe that the Mammoth will win a Stanley Cup before the Jazz win a championship. In my mind,
Oh yeah,
I'm on that bandwagon for sure.
same.
Well, if you look at the free agent conversations, which is all off-season jibber jabber for clicks and attention, of course, but if you look at the free agent conversation, so much of where these big players want to go is places that are tax-free markets. Vegas, Dallas, Florida. Nobody wants to play north of the border anymore because of the tax rules and because of all that. So these Canadian players want to come down, or American players playing north of the border. It's the American teams have the advantage in the free agent market.
Totally.
I think sooner or later there's going to be some kind of balancing the salary cap so that evens itself out. But I'll tell you what, if you're a Utah Mammoth fan, what you wanted to have right now is a tax-free situation for income tax if you want these players to come to Utah.
I also want tax-free initiatives in Utah.
We all want that money. So let's win some hockey, boys, and play some income tax-free. But it makes a huge difference. You see where these guys want to play. This is going to be a premier free agent destination because we've got a great owner and a great fan base, and it's a beautiful place to live. So all sorts of great reasons to be positive and optimistic about the Utah Mammoth potentially winning a Stanley Cup. However, it does exhaust me to think that hockey is still going on. And if it was going on in Utah, we'd be still going to games in the middle of June. That's just insane. Yeah.
It is crazy. It is crazy. And I will say a lot of people on the internet, the Twitter fingers is what I call them, like complaining about FIFA tickets being so expensive. And it's like, bro, what was the cheapest ticket in Carolina? It was like $3,200 for the Stanley Cup.
Oh yeah,
$100,000 a piece for those Knicks tickets in the final.
And I'll
Bro,
tell you,
the cheapest Knicks ticket, $8,600, like the cheapest.
Yeah.
Like,
and I'll
it's
tell you
just
what, when I watched that national anthem in SoFi, I looked at Meg. I looked at my girl. I go, maybe those ticket prices were worth it because that was electric.
And that's something that's so cool to new fans of the sport. I know usually in the United States, our culture is to like maintain reverence during the national anthem and just listen. But it's soccer culture is to sing it as loud as you can, scream it as loud as you can during the national anthem, sing along. And it was so cool to watch. I know Slatton, I know Henri, Lexi Lala, everybody on the Fox broadcast was talking about that. I wish I was there. I hope I hope that the United States can go far enough where I can go watch them and I'm done with my responsibilities here in Kansas City. But what a special moment, man! What a time to be alive. I was driving to work today. I was just like, dude, I watched the NBA Finals last night. I'm watching the Stanley Cup. World Cup games have been crazy. I'm gonna watch UFC tonight, and I'm like, dude, 2026. What a time to be alive. I'm gonna talk about this summer the rest of my life. It's like it's so
Oh,
epic.
yeah.
New York
Olympics.
New York winning after 53 years. I hate New York, but good for them. Like it's just it's just an awesome time to be alive. And I think it's important to recognize, yeah, exactly. Jordan Clarkson, our Utah man, an NBA champion. Like it's just, it's so important in life to like sit back and be like, I'm living one of those summers that you'll look back and be like, dude, summer 26, bro. That was the good days. And I'm living it. And it's just, I think it's healthy for men's mental health to like sit back and be like, I'm living one of those summers, man. I'm living one of those summers because it's an epic time to be alive. 250 years of our country celebration coming up, and it's just like, it's cool, bro.
Dude,
Yeah.
you said it perfectly, Clayton. This has been an epic year for sports. We watched America win the gold medal in hockey 3 times, and now we're hoping and we're going to be cheering for the United States of America in our 250th birthday to bring home the World Cup. Clayton, it has been such an honor to talk soccer slash football slash hockey, everything with you. You're one of my best friends. I'm so happy to have you on here. Also, everyone give a round of applause for Clayton. Clayton's expecting their first child coming here soon in a couple months. He's going to be a girl dad just like you and me, Lee. So I'm so stoked for you, buddy. Thank you for being on Slapshot Utah. Again, Men's Mental Health Month is June. If you or anyone you know is struggling, don't forget to call any one of us. Hit us on the DMs and call 988 if you're in trouble. We love you so much. We'll see you next week for another episode of Slapshot Utah.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thank you. That was great.